And just like that, this thing is over. This is the final product right here. Okay, so it is the next day. The parts is fully dry and I have my little work table in the bathroom here. This is where I can only record with 2 kids. And the bolts are powder coated, not powder coated, but they are coated so it can help with the rust in there. This is the LED head unit right here. We are gonna be now assembling everything back together. Now usually I would say you install everything in the reverse order, but it is not actually the same way. So let's get right into it. Let me just put all the extra parts on the floor. First, we are gonna take these wires, which are the power cables for the puddle lamp and for the LED, for the actual LED. And this will have to be run through the motor here. It does have enough space, so that's not a problem here. I'll put it right in the middle so you can see it moves back and forth. So it has enough space. It can be a little bit tricky sometimes, but you have to wiggle it. So I just like to put it straight in there and just push it until it comes out in the other side. I like to leave a little bit of slack so I can position it later on, and then I just pull it a little bit more. So let's take this one too. If you see some resistance like this, don't worry, that's pretty normal. You have to move the cable a little bit sometimes. See, and then it moves freely, and here it goes outside. Again, I'm leaving a little bit of slack on both wires. Okay, so here, what you want to make sure is you don't put the wires on top of the screw holes right here and in the bottom here. I have to put this back where it was. You can actually like put it in the corner there if you want, for example. Something like this to hold it together. It's whatever you want. There we go. And then just check in the back there to see if you see how it's too much. The white and black one is too much. How to pull it so it doesn't have too much slack. The red one has a little bit too much too. Enough to get it in the back there, but not enough to get it tangled with the actual motor. Let's put some tape around here. Then let's put some tape. The reason that I'm putting tape now is because I'm noticing that I'm hitting too much the corners with the actual motor and I don't want to scrape it. So, see, like this. So now we can start the assembly process. Let's get the bolts back. So these 2 fat ones are the ones that holds the actual back plates to the actual housing. So that's what we're gonna use. It's not fully on. I just want to see if I can see any problem areas before I tighten it down. I do not. Yeah, there it is. And it's properly seated because you can see the hole through it. If you don't see the hole in the back, in the bottom there, I don't know if you guys can see it, then you have to keep tightening this until it can't go no more so it could be properly seated. Okay, and just make sure that it's properly seated. And the bolts for the white plate right here is these long skinny ones. The one that goes there is very short, which is this one. There we go. And this one is for the outer banks here. Another reason that I wanted to color these is because, as you can see, the housing is black and I didn't want a silver screw there to mess up the look. So put the bad boy out of here. So we're gonna snake this thing first before we put the actual pin back. The route is through here. So we're gonna route these two first. Then we're gonna route this one through there too. So you have to align it like that, so it can set like that, and then you just grab the bolts. So, now that the wires are passed through there, check if they could move. Good Lord. That's it. It can move. Great success. So now we have one thing left to do. Actually, two things left to do. One is connect the mirror. So the way that you put, hello. So the way that you put this thing back, remember, we have a little swivel. So in reverse order, you're gonna put it down and under, and then just press to get these two clips on the white parts. Pretty easy. As you can see, here's the indentations that helps you get in there. The negative wires on it. You plug it in and you push that white protective thing in there. So for the mirror, you're gonna put it in inward. You could do it with your finger, or you could do it with a rag, but you just have to press down until it locks. So, and to check it, you just have to do the same thing as if you were going to open it. Make sure that the white parts are seated correctly. Okay. So you can see it's seated correctly, and you're gonna have no warping in the actual mirror, so that's great. Great success. Okay, so the mirror is actually in, everything's connected, and this is how it's gonna look. Now the last step is to connect the pins back. I'm gonna grab it like this. Remember, this is how I took it out. So I'm gonna put the head up, and it just slides in there like that. If you hear the click, it went in perfectly. Do the same for the other side. And then give it a little tug and make sure that it doesn't come out. Now you're gonna do the same thing with this, but the bottom ones are reversed like this. But if you don't want to do it in reverse, you just turn it around. Let's go back to the picture. I will put the picture up for you guys if you didn't take a picture yourself. And click done, click success. Click done, click success. And the yellow one, click done, great success. And then you give it a tug. Everything is great, so everything's back to normal. And then the last step is to get this thing back on it, which is basically like a cover for it. As you can see the actual wires. This is actually just a little cover for it. There you go. Everything is fully covered, and then we're going to do the same thing for the back here. As you can see, the wires are exposed. So what it is just a cover. Just have to press down on it, and it comes right in. So there we go. We have the connectors back on it, and we have the routed wires back on it. So the last step will be to put back the actual thingy right here. So what you do is you just have to route everything back. Okay, so if you have like one of these that are closed like this, you had to put the actual wires first and then take off the clip, but I didn't do that. It doesn't matter because the other one is broken like this. If you did do it like I did and did a mistake, because I actually forgot, nothing's gonna be damaged if you open this a little bit to get this thing in there. So no worries on that. So I made a cut right here to get this thing in it. Like I said, don't worry about this. This is not so important. And then just route the other ones. I like to put it in the bottom so it could hold it. So that is it. This is how you put it back. Now, if you don't like how it's so open like this, if you're paranoid, you can get some electrical tape again. Nice and sealed. It has a seal again, just like how it was. And just like that, this thing is over. This is the final product right here. You have your wires run through, you have your cover, you have your pin connected again, nice and strong. You have your new housing right here. You have your painted holder. You have your components inside. Everything is back to normal. Now the last step is to get this thing mounted in the G35. And then after it's mounted, we're gonna have to run these wires actually connected, and that will be the last step to swapping out your OEM for LED mirrors. Now let's go straight to the G35 and install this. I'm curious to see how it's gonna look.